Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's live reaction bingo for One Piece. We got chapter 1129, or it's titled Living Dolls, and that just makes me think, okay, we're continuing on with what we've been seeing, which is great. So yeah, I guess that's all there really is to say. The only thing that's going to be a little bit long in this intro is I'm going to yap a bit about a prediction for the sun god, witch doctor looking person who is in charge of this little toy city they've got going on. I was watching Pyro Prima, or Pyro Prima, I think he pronounces it sometimes. I was watching a stream. Go check out him if you want to. Also does some One Piece stuff. And he brought up, oh, did you know the theory where people are saying that they think that person is Road, whatever his name is, the one that's part of Hyridine's crew? And for me, I was like, no, it's going to be a woman because of the shoes, even though the shoes look kind of like Road or whatever's. And they also look like most of what the giants wear. A lot of them wear shoes like that. But the first thought that popped into my head was, no, it's going to be a woman at the beginning of like every One Piece arc. And I guess this is something that I had realized subconsciously, but I had never even noticed it. Like, actually consciously, actually purposefully, I had never noticed it until this moment when I was like, no, of course not. It's going to be a new female character like we get at the beginning of every One Piece arc. And then I was like, hold on, why did I just immediately think that? I was like, is that even true? So then I looked back at all the arcs and I'm like, wow, it is kind of true. I don't want to say waifu because sometimes it's a like little girl. I don't want to say like damsel in distress because that's not always the role they play. But, and I don't even know if this is something that Oda does on purpose, or if it's just at the beginning of every arc when he's setting things out and he's like, oh, I need a character to exposit and explain some things and get Luffy and the Straw Hats into what's going on in this arc and the new setting that we have going on, and it just always happens to end up being a female character. But I went back through like each arc, a few of them at the very beginning don't quite fit it, but as we go later on, it happens in basically every arc. So first thing, when we get into the arc to try to recruit Zoro, we meet Rika, the little girl and stuff, then Helmeppo gets introduced, and, you know, that's not a really hugely good example. And then we get into ones that it doesn't really fit that well for. Kaya kind of fills the role a little bit in Syrup Village, but we don't see her until a little later on. It doesn't fit for Baratie. We do get to see and get to meet Nojiko pretty early on in the Kokoyashi / Arlong Park stuff, but again, that's not like immediately at the beginning. But then we get a little bit later on, I guess Zoro meets Tashigi, but you know, the East Blue Saga doesn't really fit so much for. It's when the arcs start getting longer that it seems like Oda starts relying on this a little bit. Vivi just kind of does it for an entire saga. Vivi shows up, she's the princess character from the saga. She is where we get a lot of our explanations about a lot of things for that entire saga as we're going from island to island. And she kind of serves that role. But then once we get past the Alabasta stuff, who's the first person we meet in Skypiea? We're meeting Conus, and then Conus explains a lot of things and, you know, brings, like, of course there was the lady who took the picture, but she wasn't like an actual real character. Conus is the one who the Strats talk to, who explains things to them, and who kind of serves this role moving through the arc. Then of course you get into Water 7 and stuff. We kind of meet Chimney first. Again, Water 7 doesn't fit that well. It's really post time skip when it starts happening again and again even more. But yeah, we're just going from arc to arc, and eventually we're getting like Kami's pretty much the first person we meet going in to the Sabati Archipelago stuff that, you know, she reintroduces Hachan, and Hachan is the one who explains a lot of the stuff that we're getting into. Then when Luffy gets separated from the others, he meets Marguerite first, and Marguerite explains a lot of things. And then the arcs going on into there and the war don't really fit like a normal One Piece adventure arc where we're getting into the culture of a new setting. But then going into Fishman Island, who does Luffy get a lot of this info from and meet really early on? It's Shirahoshi. Then moving on from there, one of the first characters we meet, she doesn't really fit the princess archetype, but one of the first characters we're introduced to going into Punk Hazards, Monet. Then we get into Dressrosa, where we kind of have it for all of the monster trio, where one of the first characters Luffy meets and who explains a lot of what's going on in Dressrosa to Luffy is Rebecca. For Zoro, it's meeting Wicca, and Wicca explains a lot of things to Zoro and leads him into contributing into the arc. And then, of course, it's Viola for Sanji, where Viola's like the first person Sanji meets, and she explains a lot of what's going on and leads into Sanji's role in the arc. So we have that. We go into Zoe. First people we meet are Wanda and Carrot. They explain things. They bring us into the arc. Then going into Whole Cake Island. First, it's Reiju before we even get to the island. And then the first person when we get to the island is Pudding. Then we're going into Wano. First person Luffy meets is Tama, and then he gets the explanations for a lot of this stuff. Zoro comes along. We have Kikunojo, who explains a lot as well. And then later on, for Zoro's part of the arc, there's a bit of Hiyori kind of playing this role a bit for Zoro's part in the arc. And then when we're going into the Onigashima stuff, Oda does it again with Yamato, where Yamato comes in, one of the first new characters that we see as an audience, and kind of explains things to Luffy and kind of gives some of that stuff to carry Luffy and Momonosuke further in the arc. And then, first person when we get to Egghead, the first person they meet is Lilith, who takes them to Shaka, who explains things and brings the Straw Hats in. For Luffy's group, it is, before they even get there, it's Bonnie who explains things to Luffy's group once they get onto the island. He then meets Atlas, then meets Vegapunk, who explains even more. So again, this happens every arc, where pretty much a female character shows up at the beginning, explains a lot of what's going on the island, and kind of brings the Straw Hats into the plot line. So when we have this person who's, this kind of seer, witch doctor kind of outfit going on, which is, I think, something that was in Viking culture, which is what the Giants are based off of. We have that going on. I think that this is once again going to be probably a character we've never seen before or met before. It's probably going to be a female character who is going to explain things to the Straw Hats who are here. Sorry, had to get some water. Yeah, I think that she's going to come in, explain what's going on to the original 6 Straw Hats, because the other Straw Hats are already with the giant pirates and everything. And, we're going to get an explanation of what's going on with Elbaf, and we're going to go into whatever the conflict is going to be for the Elbaf arc. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to get this chapter. I think we're probably going to learn more about this character, about this little city that we're in, and yeah, that's about it. So let's get into actually reading the chapter. But first, if you want to see these videos when the scans come out, they go up publicly for everybody when the official chapter comes out, but when the scans come out, they go up for patrons and members. So if you want to be a patron or member, hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. If you would like to also play along while I'm playing along, a link will be in the comments and description, as always, to make your own bingo card. I update the bingo card generator every week, and this week I almost forgot to. I did it like right before coming to record. So let's see what I got on my card this week. We have Kid Pirates. That's not looking too great, but I mean, I guess they were around Elbaf. Cross Guild, Revolutionary, Admiral, Named Attack, Heart Pirates. Mine is not looking great. Wano Piece, I might get in the cover story if we get a cover story this week. Joy Boy mentioned, Smoker, Elbaf confirmation. If we finally get confirmation, because right now we could be on one of the Giants, like on the Giant ship in one of their rooms. We could be on a different Giant ship. They kind of talked about that last chapter, so we're not 100% sure we are on Elbaf yet. A new named character, which we could very much get. That's at least one I could get. Bounty reveal, not looking likely. Free space, which we can click. Yonko, which that should be an easy one, as long as we get Luffy. Nika mentioned. Gorosei, Loki. New name Devil Fruit Awakening, Vivi Wappler Morgans, Blood Sweater Tears, Thousand Sunny, Silhouetted Character, Straw Grand Fleet Representative, or Seraphim. Wow, I did not get a great looking card. Like, there are different options that you can get, not only the order, but which spaces you could potentially get. I got some rough ones. So either way, let's start reading chapter 1129, Living Dolls. And oh, this time Yamato's there with the what is it? The Koma Inu. I forget the Koma Inu's name. And then Tama's doing the shinobi training with Shinobu, or the kunoichi training. All right, just taking in the art. And Shinobu is back into this form now. Onichild Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 16, A Ninja Lesson at Amigasa Village. Cute. You know, Tama is very, very good at this, because I was expecting some sweat here, but we have no sweat. So I don't get blood, sweat, or tears yet. But I do get Wano piece. Let me go ahead and mark that off. That's probably all we're going to get, is Wano piece from that. Okay. We have, Great Sun God, please calm down. Look, you can see flames from the cracks. The sky is falling. It's the end of the world. We have all these random people here that have been dressed up as Vikings to live in this city. I shall never forgive this slight, you living dolls. You demolished my temple. They were going to say room. And my poor pet, I mean servants. And all of the animals have been taken out, and the rabbit got eaten earlier, if we're to believe what they said, which is absolute insanity. These things are bleeding, though, so we do get blood, sweat, or tears from this. Actually, this could be easy. If we get gear, if we get a named attack and gear 5th, like, this could work. This could work. That guy's way too scary. He's more like a demon than a god. Is it okay for the town to be shaking like this? All this was really made out of those blocks. Jump over, cat. And then, yeah. What, Grady Scott? He must have put a ton of time into it. Let's try to get away without destroying his hard work. Yeah. Hey, cat. Stop that, Scott. You, why are you aiding them? Yeah. And then, we can reach the end of the world in no time, thanks to this cat. Huh? We're going where now? You should listen, Luffy. We need to follow the blueprints. Don't worry, I memorized them. Ooh. And then, look, Luffy, see that mirror? We can see the door from earlier in it. You're right. If you look closely, all the clouds are just strung up balls of cotton. That's really funny. So, like, this whole chunk of room, it's not even like just a cage, it's like a whole chunk of room that's been turned into a miniature city. This place may look expansive, but it's really just a giant's room. Right, so the horizon only seems endless, but it shouldn't be much further. We just need to keep pushing forward, and we get a diagram of it here with the great tree, the mirrors, and the town forest fountain. We've already crossed half the country. And then we see the room outside with the animals that have been taken out. Okay, just trying to internalize this map. I wonder what they're going to do at the back wall, though. Just try to bust through the wall? Now I see. If you believe those blueprints show everything about this realm, then you're mistaken. Verily, this place is in truth a giant detention center. A net? Why is he talking like a samurai? This facility was designed to ensure no giant escapes its walls, even if you were to reach the other side. Do you think you have a hope of breaking through? That way is another dead end. And they get a unique laugh. Hey, keep running, cat. Yeah. Grady Scott, why are those people riding you? Then hurry up and go. And we have Zoro and Sanji both breaking through the net. Yeah. The metal wires? This resistance is futile. Ahead is the domain of the mighty Ear God. And then, oh, it's already been taken out. What, Great Sun God? About the Ear God. The truth is... And then, man, that's dark. We found his body burned to a crisp earlier today. The cause is unknown. Wow. We thought our misfortune couldn't get any worse. Then we saw cracks in the sky. This day's truly cursed. They beat it. No way, that carnivorous rabbit? My Gult bunny? It was already too late. Okay, let's mark a couple things. Because we have flashback here. Did I not get flashback? I didn't get flashback. Okay. Is there even anything I could do? We don't have any named attacks. because they didn't name them when they used them. Okay, this isn't confirmed to be Elbaf, I don't think. We did get Luffy. We got Yonko. That's something. And does the new name character count for Iscott, or did we hear Iscott's name last week? I don't remember, so I'm not going to mark it yet because I don't remember. But yeah, wow, less than I thought. How lovely, how precious. This world is a marvel. A grand tale is unfolding in my miniature garden, taking a life of its own right before my very eyes. I underestimated them. The sky's giving me goosebumps. Verily, evil is spawned and heroes are being born in the world I created. History is being made. This is the beauty of my living dolls. A minimalist world, and it's all mine. This could be our only chance. The escape route's open, and they're whispering to each other. Let's run while we still can. Spread the word. The people are going to try to escape during the commotion here. What's he laughing about? It's a live drama, playing out in the palm of my hand. Hyridine may recognize you, but I don't. Man, I guess maybe it is Road or Root or whatever. But I don't. Let's see what you do next, because they're mentioning Hyridine here. Lethal, Green Star, Skull Bombgrass, and it would make sense if Hyridine accepts Luffy as captain, but the other members of the new giant pirates don't. Skull Bombgrass. And we get to see Usopp doing something? That is a rarity. It's no use. I broke the mirror, but that wall is seriously strong. Just leave it to me. Brilliant. What a chapter. You could use that as a reaction to something. I can't get enough of these weaklings struggling against their fate. Their bitter failure and hollow despair only showcases their humanity. Setbacks and disappointments. That's the core of character development. This folly is comical to watch, but your valiant efforts move me to tears. I'm glad you made your way to me. Luffy Tasso, Zoro Tasso, Nami Tasso, Usopp Tasso. And then, he knows our names? San Tasso, Cho Tasso. What's a Tasso? I'm gonna punch through. Time for a little gear forth. And he stretches back. Hey, Usopp, there's no one to blame over a natural disaster, right? You mean like earthquakes, floods, and storms? Nope, generally those things just happen. Good, because that guy definitely put us through a lot of crap. He's really pissed me off. Hey, he's a giant, so I totally get your rage, Nami-san. I'll never forgive him either. We have Sanji. I can't stop thinking about how he got to dress you up. That face. I'll grind him to dust with my own legs. Get a grip, Sanji-kun. Besides, I have a feeling he's about to feel some divine retribution. Did Nami set up some kind of storm and that's why she was asking? Mugen, what have you got this time? Ka. Then, hey, this is the Straw Hat crew. But the giant warrior pirates were guiding them. Something must... Okay, so it is him then. It is him. So the shoe theorists were right. Something must have happened. They're fast asleep. Wait, if they came from Egghead, did they go through the sleeping mist belt? Seriously? Yep. This is awesome. Hyridine joined you all on his own. He wanted us new giant pirates to serve you. As if. Elbaf's strongest warriors don't follow itty-bitty humans. Hasn't he got a shred of pride? Just look at this small, frail body. Oh, wow, it's my queen, Namtaso. Uh-oh. And then they start waking up, I guess, and he keeps them asleep with the mist. Just go back to sleep. You're in for a surprise when you wake up. I see you have no clue where you are. Stay and run wild here. Now you'll serve me. Huh? Ready, Zeus? I'm raring to go, Nami. What is this? I didn't make that. Then by all means. Thunderbolt? Yeah! What? Great Sun God. I hate to do this, but we're leaving. Bye-bye, Block Country. Gumma gumma no? We're finally getting out. Serves you right, you giant perv. Please let the outside be Elbaf. And then we have everyone else's reactions. Kong gone. Alright, we're free. Ah, what lies just out of sight? And they're specifically, I mean, it's probably Elbaf. Let's face it. It is almost 100% Elbaf, but they are specifically not confirming it. They're specifically not confirming it. We did get named attack, but of course, Luffy just uses Gear 4th instead of Gear 5th. So, no Devil Fruit Awakening. And then, I also didn't get Zoan Transformation, right? Which Chopper would have counted for. Yeah, wow. We did see Hyridine, though. Grand Fleet representative. I don't think we saw a silhouetted character, and I don't remember if we got Iskat's name before, so I don't know if I should click new name character or not. But yeah, I know, I mean, hey, with better luck, I could have potentially gotten one. Either way, though, thank you for watching. That was a fun chapter. It was really, really, really fun to read. I'm immediately, though, from like the discussion in the intro, immediately got clapped. I am immediately clapped. The shoe theorists were on to something. It was indeed Root or whatever his name is from Hyridine's crew. That's not super exciting to me. That is one of kind of the least exciting outcomes for this. Like, a new character would have been more exciting. Yeah, a new character would have been more exciting. I don't know. It just feels like the crews of the Grand Fleet are not exactly the most hyped up characters in the series exactly. But still, it was a fun chapter. I'm loving this adventure, and I can't wait because we didn't really get to know any of the people living in this city. We kind of just ran through this. We didn't have the Straw Hats living in the city for a little while trying to figure it out before they figure out that it's a fake city or anything. Yeah, we kind of moved through it really quickly, so we didn't get to know any of those characters. We haven't really gotten to know... I mean, we as an audience have gotten to know, like, Root or whatever a bit better. But the Straw Hats haven't really, so it'll be nice once we get out of here, if it is indeed Elbaf. If we get to meet some new characters, that'd be really fun. Plus just reconnecting with old characters, reconnecting with Hyridine, presumably, maybe reconnecting with more of the Grand Fleet members, if Bartolomeo makes it there somehow, reconnecting with Kid and his crew, potentially, depending on if they actually just died off the coast, which I think most people probably doubt, but I guess this late in the game, and the way that Oda's been writing here and there, it's not impossible that he could just be like, yeah, Kid's dead. He just died back then. Like, it's not impossible. We could reconnect with Saul, I think, is a big one. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the plotline could be with Loki and Big Mom's family, if Big Mom and the Big Mom pirates come back into things, because they didn't really get to do anything during Onigashima except for Perospero. And, you know, it would be nice to kind of conclude a bit of their character arcs a little bit. I think that they tie in a lot, and Big Mom ties in a lot with Elbaf and what we know so far. I mean, obviously Dream Scenario would be Carrot doing something important, since she was one of the only ones who got the like lore drop from Elbaf stuff. So, you know, any of that would be cool. I'm excited to see where this adventure continues into, though. I mean, they didn't mention it, so maybe no break next week. So either way, we'll end things here. Thank you for watching. Like if you like the video, comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more. One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, ask and I'll give you a link. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, that's appreciated. But if you want to, you know, support the channel, help me to keep making videos. Also get these One Piece videos early when the scans come out, and also get your name at the end of videos, then hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you to people who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Abyss Knight, JA and the D-Man, Jared and Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardial. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.